Hello everybody, here we are then. This is test route number 4 for Tigers Road in Wigston, and it's number 4 of 15, and you can have a look at the other 14 if you look online. Just hit the subscribe button, they'll all be on there. If they're not on there now, they will be eventually. And we're just turning left onto Saffron Road at the mini roundabout at the end of Tigers Road. Also, if you look at the look on the channel, you'll see there's quite a lot of videos about the Pork Pie Island, which is relevant to this test today. So have a good look at that as well. And if you want to see the route listed out, just look in the description box. In the meantime, here we are. We're travelling along Saffron Road, away from the driving test centre. We go straight ahead at this mini roundabout. We're heading now toward, to give you some context, give you some geography, we're heading toward the Pork Pie Island, or that we are going to go around it, but not quite yet. Okay, so we're just travelling along Saffron Road, away from the test centre. There's another mini roundabout ahead of us. That's the one at the end of not Dysart, I'm in the wrong area of Leicester, Dorset Avenue. That's it. Straight ahead at that one. Quite busy, the traffic's quite busy today. Seems to be it's a Friday afternoon again, so everybody seems to have finished work and they're off on their way home for the weekend. Good for them. We're going to take the next road on the right. So the next right, and there's a mini roundabout there as well. So just using the brake to control the speed as we come down here, dropping us into second gear, seeing that it's clear. And the red car's waiting for us. Thank you very much, sir. And we're going to turn right into here, into Trenent Road. Quite a lot of parked cars along here because we have the what's now called the Tudor Grange Samworth Academy, which used to be Mary Linwood School. There, so I suppose all these parked cars here, people on the school run to pick their children up. So it's a good job we weren't 15 or 20 minutes later. We wouldn't have been able to get up and down this road at all. These speed bumps are a little bit horrendous, but not as bad as some of them around here. When we get to the end of this Trenent Road, then we're going to turn left. And when we turn left here, it will take us onto Stonesby Avenue. Another mini roundabout. The road surface around here does need a bit of maintenance, really does. So we're just waiting for a space, looking for a gap, and there's our gap there. Look, we're just going to follow that around. There's another mini roundabout here, so do treat these two as separate entities. I'm going to go straight down this one. So as we come down here on Stonesby Avenue, we're going to turn right at the Pork Pie Roundabout, and we're turning right for Saffron Lane, which will be signposted and road marked for the city centre, or it just says city on the road. So we're just indicating for right, moving into the right hand lane, just making sure I'm not going to stop on the crossing. There seems to be a little bit of a gap there, but I'm not quite sure that'll get the whole car over and leave a gap where I can still see the Ford Focus tyres on the road. So I'm okay to stop here. I'm not holding anybody up really, because as soon as the lead car moves, then I can move forward. And actually the Focus has moved forward and they're all moving now. So I can move forward now and close that gap down. So it's going to be the fourth exit on the roundabout here, and that's going to take us along Saffron Lane. And it does look like I've got a blocker there, which is going to allow me to get into the roundabout. So you see on the road it says City. I'm going to go around this roundabout quite slowly so that you can see. But the lights are changing for us. Now we're in lane 3 here, if you look at the lanes. 1, 2, 3. And as we come around here, we're going to move out to lane 1, which is next to, and it just says City on the road. We're going to stay in lane 1, and then we're going to indicate left here, and that will take us off along, then down into Saffron Lane. Now that we're on this road here, Saffron Lane, we're going to take the 4th exit on the right. So we're going to take the 4th right. We're just passing the first one, Roehampton Road. So there'll be 2 more, and then we want the one after those 2. What's there? He's just waiting for us. That's fine. Keeping a nice steady pace down here, Saffron Lane. It is a 30 road, so we don't really want to be going any quicker than that. We're just about to pass the 3rd road on the right. That's a no entry, can't go down there anyway. And the 4th one is just here, so we're going to check the right mirrors, signal for right. They've left a little, or they've marked out a little kind of lane inside, halfway over the road there. So for people turning right, we're going to turn right there. I'm never quite sure what those lanes are called. I'm sure there must be a name for them, and your instructor will know. So they're obviously better than me. I just don't know what they're called. Anyway, this is the Fairway. And we're climbing up the hill here, and what will happen here is you will be asked to pull in and park on the left at some point, just because it's, you know, it's a fairly busy road. It's not overly busy, but you can park at the side. There's no lines or anything, so you can park on the side of the road, and they'll get you just to pull away again, just to make sure that, you know, you're waiting for a good space, you're checking your blind spots and things, and that you pull away fairly rapidly when you go. Fairway is quite a long road in the end. Just going to time my approach here to give myself lots of room. There you go. And as it bends around to the left here, it will bend round to the left and then the right. So it bends round to the left, there'll be a speed bump just here, quite a big one. And when it bends round to the right here, it changes from the Fairway into Windley Road. So we come along Windley Road here, and you'll see ahead of you there's a roundabout, and at that roundabout we're going to turn left, taking the 1st exit. Be careful not to indicate until you're level with this junction on the left there. So we're just waiting for this fella in this Vauxhall Savara, see when he's going to decide to move forward. It's leaving us a little bit of space, not quite enough space to get the car through there. He's in quite a weird kind of position, isn't he? He's kind of taking up a bit of our lane as well as all of his own. There's a gap for him. Okay, that means we can move up to the line now, and we're looking for a gap or a blocker, and there's a blocker, and hopefully, and there wasn't a big enough gap, there wasn't enough of a gap there, because they were all filling that in. So we're still looking for a space or a blocker. It looks like there's going to be a space now here anyway, so that didn't cost us many minutes, did it really? Perhaps about 30 seconds something. There you go, so that's fine. We've now turned on to Asquith Way. So we're going along Windley Road, came to the roundabout, took the first exit on the left, and we're on Asquith Way now. As you come down Asquith Way, remembering that this is a 30-mile-an-hour road, we're going to turn right when we get to the traffic lights down there. So there's a crossing first of all, there's nobody on the crossing. We're going to turn right at the traffic lights. It's got a big junction, this one. They're on red at the moment, so it could be that they'll change fairly quickly for us. Let's just have a look. And there they are, they've changed for us now. We're just going to move into the centre and wait for a space. So we've stopped just short of where we want to steer. And we'll just then patiently wait for a space. It's probably going to be when the lights change back to red, and that will stop the traffic, their oncoming traffic from coming. The lights are changing back to red, the white BMW is stopping, and that means that we can go around there. Then you see there's always like, I don't know, maybe 10-15 seconds when everything is on red, just to allow time for the junction to clear, anyone waiting in the centre to clear. This has brought us from Asquith Way onto Shackerdale Road. I'm going to come around here. We're going to go past the Aberdale pub, which is on our left now, and then we're going to turn left then. Turning left here into Roehampton Drive. And we're coming from South Wigston into actual Wigston now, and then we're going to turn right here, and this should be Bradgate Drive, and it is. There you go. Bradgate Drive, quite a straight road. It could be that you'll do some kind of manoeuvres down here. Obviously lots of parallel parking opportunities, maybe controlled stop, something like that along here. So if you do come along this route and you come along this road, just be prepared for that, pre-warned, it's pre-armed and all of that business. And when we come to the end here, there's a crossroads, and we're going to turn right at the crossroads, and that will take us into Croft Drive. Just creeping out because there's cars parked on either side of this junction, and it means my view is a bit blocked. So creeping out, making sure it's safe, and away we go. So we're on Croft Drive, and we're going to come to the end of this road. We're going to turn left, and that will then bring us back onto Shackerdale Road. All looks pretty clear. No problems there. And this time we're not turning off at Shackerdale Road, but we are going to go all the way to the end of it, and we're going to turn left when we get to the end. There's another speed bump here. It's a bit hidden, it's a bit faded, the markings are. So anyway, but there we go, we're going to turn left at the end of this road here. That's going to take us into Aylestone Lane, which most people will know as Stonesby Avenue actually. It's a bit difficult to know where Stonesby Avenue ends and Aylestone Lane begins. I'm just letting this lady cross the road. There you go. And there's a nice space for me. So that was calmer, wasn't it? I let someone cross the road, and then I got a nice space to move out. There you go. So I'm just leaving this junction open. I know there's no one going into it or out of it at the moment. The lights are on red. It's only a crossing. They're going to change fairly quickly, but I'm leaving it open just in case, and that's what you need to do as well. Aylestone Lane now, and it's almost like we're going towards Wigston really, but we're looking for a road on the right which is going to be Rolleston Road. Which I think is this one. I'm pretty much sure it is. Let's see. No, yes, Rolleston Road. There you go. The thing is, a lot of these side roads off here look the same. We're going past the Nautical William. Big Leicester City signs up on the Nautical William, so quite like them people in there. And we're just going to go straight along this road here now. Again, we're going to go all the way to the end of Rolleston Road. I'm losing my voice a little bit because I went to the football match on Wednesday where the Great and Glorious Leicester City beat Birmingham 1-0, but they were rubbish, and I shouted at the team quite a lot, and now I'm suffering with my voice. So there you go. We're going to turn left when we get to the end of this road. Just as we move out of here, it's taking us into West Avenue. Kind of working our way through Wigston now, aren't we really? And you can see there's going to be lots of opportunities to get you to pull in and stop. Lots of opportunities as well where there's going to be meeting situations where you might have to give way to other people that want to get through first, and when we get to the end of this road though, we're going to be going left. So this is West Avenue, and we're coming to the end of the road, and we're turning left into Holmden Drive. I said Holmden Drive, I can't believe it, I keep getting this wrong. Holmden Avenue. Oh dear. Anyway, when we're going to get to the end of Holmden Avenue, in the end, we're going to turn right. Just going to stop here because there's a car just waiting to get through their taxi. They're letting through, and another one as well. Just going to leave enough space so that we've got a bigger space as well. And now we're going to turn right at the end of Holmden Avenue onto Aylestone Lane. And Aylestone Lane is quite a busy road to turn onto, so you may have to wait a little while. And if you do have to wait a little while, it's all going to then become about your composure, isn't it? So you're going to, when the space does appear, you're going to need to be cool enough just to control the car forward and around, and not kind of try and jump into the space. If you do jump into the space, then there's a very high probability that you'll stall the car. So I can see it's clear one way, it's clear the other way, so I'm now just going to control the car as I move forward and around, and that's really what you need to, that's what should be in your mind at that time when you're trying to move out and around, particularly when you've had to wait for a little while at the end of a road. So on Aylestone Lane now, and we're just coming into kind of Wigston itself. You'll see all the shops in a few moments. As we come around here, so it's a bit of a double bend there. We're coming to the end of the road, and there's a mini roundabout at the end of this road, and we're going to be turning left at the end there. It's left at the mini roundabout, taking the first exit. And that's going to take us into Leicester Road in Wigston. It's always quite a busy little place, this Wigston here. Most days, most of the time that you come down here, you'll probably get caught in some kind of traffic, or there'll be people wandering over the road, or you know, just people pulling out of the side street here in this Frederick Street, or there'll be people, you know, just, you know, pulling out of there's a few parking places at the back of these shops, and very often, you know, you're having to give way. So what I'm saying is just keep a good vigilant eye out for everything that's happening around. Already we can see there's someone manoeuvring, reversing into a parking space. That's fine. And there you go, we can see there's a black car. It's just appeared, and she's just kind of working away, and it's holding up the traffic, and there's someone wandering over the road. So just as predicted. So that's what I'm saying here on as you drive through this Wigston, just be careful, keep a lookout for everything. We're going to turn right though, just as we get to the end of these shops. Could be a little while. We're just waiting for the lights to change up near the roundabout. They have changed and the traffic is moving forward, so this white car should move forward and around now, and there is space for us to move into that road as well, so we can now make that turn. Obviously you don't want to start making that turn unless there's a space to move into. And this is now Wakes Road that we're on here. As we come along here, there's a big car park on your right, and McDonald's is on your left, and we're going to turn right when we get to the roundabout at the end of this road. And that roundabout, then we turn right, is going to take us into Bell Street, and this is going to be one of your kind of spiral roundabouts again. So as we move in, we're going to start off on lane 2, which is the one next to the island itself. And it will end up spiralling out, if you like, to lane 1, which will take us along Bell Street. You can see there's a couple of cars trying to edge their way out of McDonald's. So now 3 cars. It's quite a busy McDonald's, that one, and they're quite happy. They've had their Happy Meal, so they must be happy now. There we go. So we're turning right. Roundabout, there's a nice big space. Our lights are on green, so we're on lane 2 now, and as we come around here, we're going to spiral out to end up in lane 1 really, and that's going to take us off along Bell Street and past the end of Wigston here. As we come down here, just down here, we're going to need to turn right at the traffic lights at the end of this road, not at these ones, not the ones coming up. But it does mean we're going to need to change lanes at some point. The bus is trying to get out, so I'm just going to hang back and see if he wants to get out. Now, to change lanes, obviously then you check your mirrors, your right mirrors, your signal, and you check your mirrors again, and if it's still clear, then you can move over. And I think the bus, is he trying to move over as well? He is. There you go. We're going to let him go. Number 49. Yeah. Number 49 used to go to Aylestone when I was a lad, and now it comes to Wigston, so everything changes, doesn't it? Alright, so we're going to, there's 2 sets of traffic lights down here. We're going to go straight ahead at the first set, and then right at the second set along here. So we're just going to go past the police station, just to give you a kind of context of where we are. Past the police station, past the fire station, and then we'll get to the next set of lights. I'm going to turn right at those. It's a little bit of a queue, but the lights are now on green. There you go. And so this queue should diminish fairly quickly I wonder if we do look as though we're a little far back, so I wonder if we're going to get through. And there's your answer, we're not going to get through first time, so we may have to wait for a little while whilst we let the lights go through the sequence again. So we just patiently wait here, and well, we can take in the view. It's a nice day today actually, sun's out. It's the first really nice day of the year. We've had terrible storms, Storm Dennis and all the rest of it, and now today it's quite nice, so let's hope we're going to have a nice summer. Do doubt it. Lights are changing for us, well, for the left lane they're changing, and now we're just waiting for our lane to change so that we can go around to the right. So there's green arrows there. That means we'll have a green arrow going round to the right, which means that everything else will be on red and we can make the turn. Let's see if it will let us through this time. See, no one is indicating here, and that's because you can only, from here, from this point, you can only go right, so there's no real need to indicate. And actually you saw the green arrow there as well, that let us through. We're now onto Moat Street, and we're heading now kind of back toward Wigston's town centre, I suppose, if you like. We're not going to go into the town centre again, but we're kind of driving toward it in some ways. And you know, this Moat Street is going to change its name a few times here, and so we'll just carry on. And it's going to be a very, very long road here, but actually we're coming up to a mini roundabout again here now. And again, we're going to go straight ahead at the mini roundabout. And again, even though we're going straight ahead, do your braking, do drop it into second gear, and do have a good look on the kind of side road, just to make sure it's clear for you, that you do have a space, which we have now, and then we can just drive forward. And Moat Street has now turned into Bushloe End. And we're coming up to another mini roundabout here. Make sure we get over the crossing. Yeah, we're clear of the crossing, that's nice. Going straight ahead at the roundabout again. Like I said, it's going to be quite a long road. Around we go. As with the mini roundabout, you know, you don't need to indicate to come off of them. You only need to indicate when you're coming up to them if you're turning left or you're turning right. At some point this Bushloe End will become Station Road. Just at this moment, I think we might just have missed the school run, which might be a bonus for us because it would be very busy here if we haven't, and it's not very busy here, so it looks like we have, so that's good. So we're definitely on Station Road now, and we're just travelling towards, from Wigston, if you like, into South Wigston. Right, so I'm changing to red. So this is a crossing. There you go. This is a crossing, and it shouldn't be on red for very long. There you go. Yes, it looks like the school run's just about to begin, really. People are going to start pouring out of these schools on our left. So we may have just got away with it. We can start to see the kind of the forerunners of all the people trying to escape from school for the weekend there. Again, these lights, it is a crossing, but it's also a junction. So these will be on red for a little longer, won't they? Crossings tend, if it's just a crossing, they tend to be on red for just about the time it takes people to walk over the road, maybe just a little bit longer than that. So you can usually kind of manage those on your approach. This one, like I say, is a junction, so we're having to wait. We shouldn't have to wait for too much longer, to be fair. Following the road. Going up and over the bridge. It's a railway bridge, this says. Going down toward Lidl and Tesco's. And we're not going into either Lidl or Tesco's today. We're just going to drive past them. As we get down to the bottom of the hill here, we will be coming to another mini roundabout. Well, I suppose this is a proper roundabout, isn't it, really? It's not painted on the road or anything. There's no mini roundabout signs. We're going to turn left at it, though. There you go. So we're not going into Tesco's. We're just going to carry on along Station Road into South Wigston itself. And again, there's another mini round, lots and lots of mini roundabouts around here, by the way. Yeah, another one here. We're going to go straight ahead at this one as well. That's it, through South Wigston. We had a nice blocker there, which made a space for us. Another busy place, really, South Wigston. It's not as busy in terms of it's not as teeming with pedestrians as Wigston itself. But again, there's lots of side roads and lots of cars are parked on the edges and things. So you will find that you'll have to give way every now and again, you know, just to be kind to people and let them out, maybe, or just to kind of, you know, be patient and make your way down the road. We can see that the school safety sign is up and the light is flashing up and down there. So it's saying, what it's saying is we shouldn't go really above 20 miles an hour. Although that's only an advisory thing. It's not a kind of order like the round signs are. It's only an advisory thing. However, we'll be lucky to do 20 along here at this moment because, you know, lots of traffic. We're going to keep the junction on the left open. There is a yellow box junction on there as well, so we'll just wait here and we'll just let that clear. As we're getting towards the end of the road here, or the end of the shops where all the shops are, you'll see on your right hand side there'll be a garage, a filling station. So there's a church on one side of the road and a garage on the other side of the road on your right, and we're going to turn into that road there. That will be Saffron Road, but it's the second set of lights from here. In the right hand lane because we're going to turn right at the second set now, and I'm just going to go through these ones. Our lights are on green at the moment, although the lead car, which is an ambulance, hasn't moved. It has moved now. It took him a little while to realise it was on green now, I think. And we're going to turn right here. Our it's still on green, still on green. Loads of kids pouring out of the schools now. And that brings us into Saffron Road. I'm keeping a good kind of wide berth here, just because there is a young lad and he's on his bike. He's behaving himself quite nicely, but he's kind of on the road and on the pavement, and on the road and on the pavement. There they go. There's two of them now. So I'm just hanging back, making sure that they're safe. I can't overtake them within the zigzag lines anyway. I wouldn't want to be fair. That's it, one of them's making good progress. Quite a narrow section of road here, but the road now broadens out a bit, and if I get a good, nice wide berth, I can get past them there, like that. So cyclists are vulnerable road users, aren't they? We must be careful. We must take responsibility really for their safety. I know they're responsible, but we are as well, because we're in the car. We're going to turn left then. Here we're on Saffron Road. We're turning left now into Tigers Road at the mini roundabout. And that really is test route number 4 for Leicester in South Wigston. We're going to turn right into the test centre car park now. That's test number 4. And that's it really. So I'll see you on the next video, which will be test route number 5.